Leonardo da Vinci was history's ultimate universal genius. He painted the most famous portrait on Earth. He designed futuristic flying machines centuries before airplanes. He dissected human corpses to unlock anatomical secrets. He could effortlessly bend iron horseshoes with his hands. He wrote all his private journals in reverse mirror script. He spent years building an unstoppable mechanical knight. His mind bridged the absolute worlds of art and science. Today his name means the ultimate Renaissance man. This is the mesmerizing chronicle of his infinite curiosity. The legendary mastermind was born on April 15, 1452, in the small Tuscan hill town of Vinci. He was born out of wedlock to a wealthy local notary and a young peasant woman named Caterina. Because of his illegitimate birth status, he was legally barred from attending traditional university classes. This restriction actually forced him to rely completely on his own direct observation of the natural world. He spent his young childhood exploring the Italian countryside, watching birds and drawing local rock formations. At age 14, his father recognized his immense artistic talent and sent him to Florence for training. He became an apprentice in the busy workshop of the famous master artist Andrea del Verrocchio. While assisting Verrocchio with a painting, young Leonardo painted an angel so beautiful it stunned his master. Tradition says that Verrocchio felt so completely outmatched that he swore to never touch a paintbrush again. If you love these mind-blowing tales of pure historical genius, please like this video right now. Leonardo quickly qualified as a master artist in the local guild and opened his own private studio. He was a strict vegetarian who bought cage birds at local markets just to set them completely free. He was exceptionally handsome, possessed a beautiful singing voice, and was incredibly popular among Florence's elite. However, he often grew bored with standard painting commissions and frequently left his artwork entirely unfinished. He decided to move to the wealthy city-state of Milan to seek a powerful new patron. He wrote a famous 10-page letter to the Duke of Milan, pitching himself primarily as a military engineer. He promised to build indestructible armored vehicles, giant catapults, and specialized bridges to destroy enemy armies. The Duke immediately hired him to design complex court pageants, theatrical machinery, and grand palace decorations. While working in Milan, Leonardo spent 3 intense years painting his masterpiece, The Last Supper. He uniquely used an experimental oil-based paint on dry plaster walls instead of the traditional fresco technique. The experimental method caused the paint to flake off the damp wall almost immediately after completion. He spent nearly 10 years creating a colossal clay model for a massive bronze horse statue. The model was tragically destroyed by invading soldiers who used it for target practice with their crossbows. He returned to Florence and began working on a private portrait of a woman named Lisa Gherardini. This painting would eventually become the world-famous Mona Lisa, a piece he kept until his death. He used a special technique called sfumato, layering thin glazes to create incredibly soft, smoky facial shadows. The painting's mysterious, shifting smile has captivated and puzzled art historians for hundreds of turbulent years. He spent hours studying the complex mechanics of water flow, comparing river currents to flowing human hair. He filled thousands of pages in his private notebooks with detailed sketches and revolutionary scientific ideas. He designed an early tank that required 8 men to turn gears to move the wheels. He engineered a prototype parachute, a mechanical diving suit, and an automatic self-propelling wooden cart. Make sure to subscribe to Stickman Chronicles because we drop epic history content every single day. Leonardo was completely obsessed with the idea of human flight, studying bird wing structures every evening. He designed an ornithopter, which was a unique flying machine with wings meant to flap like a bat. He actually tested one of his flying designs on a nearby hill, but the pilot broke both legs. He began conducting secret nocturnal human dissections in hospital basements to understand the internal muscular system. He drew the first accurate sketch of a human fetus inside the womb with perfect mathematical proportions. He also created the famous Vitruvian Man drawing, mapping out the ideal geometric measurements of the human body. He discovered that the rings inside a tree trunk reveal its exact age and past weather patterns. He was the first scientist to correctly explain why the sky appears a beautiful shade of blue. He moved to Rome to work for the Pope, but found himself constantly competing with Michelangelo. The two artists deeply disliked each other, often having angry public arguments in the streets of Florence. He created incredibly detailed maps of Italian cities from an aerial perspective long before the invention of satellites. He designed a massive, portable bridge for armies that could be easily assembled and disassembled during wartime operations. He studied the geometry of shadows to perfectly understand how light interacts with irregular three-dimensional surfaces. He spent weeks observing the unique multi-directional flight patterns of dragonflies to improve his aerial mechanics. He designed a specialized musical instrument known as the viola organista that blended a keyboard with string sounds. He deeply investigated the properties of friction, mapping out early laws of resistance centuries before modern physicists. He sketched plans for a canal system with adjustable lock gates to successfully control flooding along the Arno River. He designed automated roasting jacks for palace kitchens that spun meat using the natural rising heat from the fire. He analyzed the structural integrity of architectural arches, providing blueprints for massive, dome-shaped cathedral ceilings. He spent months studying rock fossils in the Italian mountains to challenge traditional views about the age of the Earth. He designed an elaborate palace defense system using hidden water channels to easily drown invading soldiers in the trenches. He calculated the mathematical curvature of the human eye lens to better understand the true physics of sight. He invented an early version of a mechanical pedometer to accurately track distances walked during his geographic surveys. He spent hours drawing the terrifying movements of imaginary deluges to capture the chaotic power of natural disasters. He engineered advanced file-cutting machines that utilized heavy drop weights to automate the production of metal tools. He discovered that the moon reflects the light of the sun and correctly mapped out early celestial tracking systems. He designed specialized parabolic mirrors to focus solar energy for heating water and cooking food inside palaces. He spent his evenings writing down fables and riddles to entertain and intellectually challenge his royal court companions. He studied the comparative anatomy of horses and humans to discover universal muscular patterns across different species. He designed an advanced steam-powered cannon capable of launching heavy iron projectiles using hot water pressure. In his 60s, Leonardo accepted an invitation from King Francis I to move to France. The French king gave him a beautiful manor house and a massive salary just to speak with him. He spent his final years organizing his scientific notes on geometry, anatomy, and the laws of physics. He built a complex mechanical lion that could walk forward and open its chest to reveal lilies. He suffered a severe stroke that partially paralyzed his right hand, but he continued to sketch. He passed away peacefully on May 2, 1519, at his grand estate in Clou, France. Legend says that the King of France held Leonardo's head in his arms as the genius died. He was originally buried in a local church, but his grave was disturbed during political revolutions. His exact skeletal remains were lost forever during the chaotic destruction of the church grounds. His surviving notebooks were scattered across Europe, remaining hidden from the public for generations. When his papers were finally rediscovered, scientists realized his engineering ideas were centuries ahead of time. He successfully proved to the world that true art requires a deep, scientific understanding of nature. He single-handedly shattered the artistic boundaries of his era through absolute, undisputed mastery of light. His name became an eternal legend, celebrated for centuries in countless global exhibitions and literature. During the modern era, his powerful likeness became the ultimate definition of human intellectual potential. Historians still study his mirrored handwriting to understand his brilliant mind and creative thought process. His inspiring legacy directly paved the way for modern inventions like helicopters and armored tanks. Today, Vibrant museum galleries and beautiful interactive exhibits celebrate his incredible legacy across the globe. His epic life continues to heavily inspire major characters in global anime shows, complex video games, and modern films. He successfully rose from an obscure village boy to become the most iconic genius in Western history. He demonstrated that a human mind's sheer curiosity could completely unlock the hidden secrets of the universe. His unique blend of artistic beauty and scientific logic heavily influenced global thought for generations. He spent his entire youth working tirelessly to explore the truth and the ultimate beauty of nature. The master inspirational leader left behind an eternal legacy of unmatched physical bravery and supreme creative authority. He successfully balanced the complex politics of the Italian courts with a life of pure scientific devotion. His life remains history's greatest example of ultimate individual power maintained through absolute intellectual confidence. From his quiet youth in the green pastures to his final legendary breath in France, he was completely unmatched. He permanently redefined the boundaries of human imagination and creative leadership for many generations to come. His complex scientific achievements and artistic tactics are still studied by historical academics around the globe today. He remains an immortal icon of Western intellect who chose raw creative glory over a quiet peasant lifestyle at every turn. The world will likely never see another universal mind quite like the master of the Renaissance. His memory continues to inspire millions of people through books, television, historical documentaries, and beautiful artwork. He began his life as a simple provincial boy and ended it as a timeless legend of world history. His legendary exploits remind us that true vision leaves a permanent mark upon the very culture of a nation. Smash that like button if you were blown away by this ancient, legendary, universal genius. Subscribe to Stickman Chronicles right now to join our growing community of history lovers. We upload brand new history videos every single day, so you never miss an epic tale. Leave a comment below letting us know which historical figure we should cover in our next video. Thank you so much for watching this deep dive into ancient warrior spirit. See you tomorrow for another wild story on Stickman Chronicles.